The title of this session is How Tech Can Support Palestine, right? Something along those lines. What does it mean when we say tech needs to support Palestine and Palestinians?
So I think the primary thing to understand is that tech currently actively oppresses Palestine. In several different ways, tech shuts down conversation that happens on social media about Palestine, on big tech platforms about Palestine, and then also big tech, in particular Google, Microsoft, and Palantir, have been directly involved in the genocide in Gaza. They have provided their systems for a genocidal state to enact a genocide on the Palestinian people. And so the primary thing that they can do is stop being part of the problem, stop being complicit in genocide and occupation and crimes against humanity. Big tech is failing in a lot of different ways.
Okay.
It really aligns itself with the system, with power. It used to be, 15, 20 years ago, tech was sort of this alternate ecosystem. But over the last 20 years, tech has really taken over the world. And the systems by which tech is successful allow it to be, to have these huge companies that are massively successful in a financial sense and have incredible amounts of power. And the natural thing for these systems is to become part of, of the government of the billionaire class, and that's exactly what's happened. And we can see with social media, for example, they're now owned by Larry Ellison, Elon Musk, and Mark Zuckerberg. Three of the richest people alive, who all of whom immediately aligned with the U.S. government as soon as it started being oppressive. Well, not that started being oppressive, but once it's crossed the line from pretty bad into very, very bad.
What does it mean to be working with or in ethical tech?
The recognition that tech is unethical is kind of a starting point, right? And it's unethical in the sort of the culture that it builds, in what it allows to happen on its platforms, in what it doesn't allow to happen on its platforms. And I think a principal part of ethical is sort of like recognizing that humanity and human rights and are should be the starting points for how we build systems and how we think about the what our companies do and what our platforms do. And I think right now big tech, I would say, is largely focused on profit.
If big tech is the structural problem here, the real alternative is what? Just creating separate systems?
So I think anything that's successful.
Is that viable even?
It is certainly viable.
Let's talk about services, since we've opened that up. You co-founded Tech for Palestine. Bird's eye view, what is it?
Tech for Palestine is an incubator. So it's like a normal tech incubator or startup incubator, except instead of supporting startups, we support advocacy projects for Palestine. Some of them are startups. About 15% of the projects in our incubator are startups. But really, anything that comes in is something that we believe has a shot of having a high impact around Palestine. We have projects that help with boycotting, a whole lot of stuff around boycotting in your retirement, in your university, in your house, of course. Boycott is one of our best and most well-loved product that's used by millions of people.
So my question here, Paul, because you're talking about services that address the Palestinian cause, correct? So how do you ensure that these services, these projects, these initiatives center the voices of Palestinians and Palestinian communities? How do you ensure that their voices are the crux of what you're doing?
So I think, honestly, this is something that we could do better. It's having a white guy on stage talking about the Palestinian cause is a little bit embarrassing. We have lots of Palestinians that work at Tech for Palestine. We have 60 on our staff. We have 80 projects that we support. We've tons of volunteers. And there's representation as well from the Arab world and Muslims in particular. But I think it is something where, in particular, in the next few years, we are going to be going very hard on addressing a much stronger representation.
If people want to get involved with your initiatives, if people want to get involved with Tech for Palestine, what do they do?
So we have a new membership initiative at Tech for Palestine where you can become a member that supports our work either financially or by getting involved in our initiatives. So just go to techforpalestine.org/membership, and you can sign up and get plugged in.
On that note, Paul Biggar, everybody, thank you so
Thank you.
much.